Bobby Jindal is hoping to get more fishermen working back on the water safely. ABC 26 News reporter Vanessa Bolano joins us live from Bucktown with more on the governor's afternoon visit. Vanessa.
Kurt, fishermen here are anxious to untie their vessels and get back to work. They say they don't want an unemployment check. What they want is to start fishing, and Governor Jindal agrees.
Bottom line is we want our fishermen to be able to go back to work in those waters where it's safe for them to do so.
Governor Bobby Jindal is getting impatient with the federal government. He says the FDA has been too slow in testing seafood samples from areas he'd like to see reopened to commercial fishing.
We don't have weeks and months while these lab tests, while these fishing samples wait in these labs. We want these tests to be done as quickly as possible.
The governor, backed by representatives from commercial fishing industries, says our Department of Wildlife and Fisheries has done hundreds of tests and certain areas are safe for commercial fishing.
We're not proposing to reopen the areas where there are booming, there are active operations going on, but the state was very aggressive in closing waters in anticipation of oil. So what we're saying is in some of these waters, it actually never even got oil.
Last week, nearly 90% of recreational fishing in the state was reopened, and now the governor wants to reopen much of those same waters to commercial fishing. Harlan Pierce of Harlan's LA Fish and Seafood says this is his inventory. There's nothing else left.
We can't afford to wait a week or 10 days or 2 weeks for our fishermen to go back to work. We can't. And the pressure that's being put on FDA is needed pressure.
The fish in our state, the shellfish in our state are safe in the open areas. They're ready to be eaten. They're ready to be caught. And we implore FDA at this time to adjust their protocols so that we can begin fishing again and get back to work in Louisiana to protect that culture and that heritage that we have here.
Now, Jindal says that some of those waters could be open to commercial fishing as early as next week, but he says that depending on the currents and the wind, where that oil is blown around could make those waters that just opened close again. Kurt?
All right, thanks, Vanessa. Images of oiled wildlife make us all want to step up and help, including people who flock to training classes in Houston.
Really wanting to push the water up through those feathers.
They're learning to wash, clean, and rehabilitate oiled birds, but a growing number of the trainees are also becoming frustrated. In the past 2 months, 600 people have trained by the Wildlife Rehab and Education Center, but no one has gotten called.
We have enough manpower to be helping over in other states and to be here in Texas.
BP says it's using more experienced groups, but the hopeful volunteers say they're ready and willing to lend a helping hand, and they add they'll continue to train and wait for the word to step up. A concert to help businesses